that we can help you with in trying to raise funds for any of your charities?
Yeah, I think just keep promoting SF. So personally, I'm just trying to get more business out there to get more speaking. The biggest thing I'm fighting right now is obscurity, right? Nobody really knows who I am or what I can do. So, just promoting that stuff. I like Bobby's foundations. He does a lot of good stuff for a lot of different organizations. He's just a great guy promoting all that stuff. There's all the different organizations out there. Like there's Operation Comfort and Operation Homefront. There's Soldiers Angels. There's all these different organizations that do a lot of good stuff for disabled veterans and even just regular veterans and stuff like that. So that's who I would probably try and promote, is those people.
Wonderful. Well,
there's also, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no, it's okay.
There's a band. It's called Five Finger Death Punch. They have a song called The Wrong Side of Heaven. Right?
Okay.
And if you listen to that, there's a video on YouTube, and then at the end of the video, there's like 3 minutes where they just go through and they list all these veteran organizations that can help veterans, or they help, so it's just an extremely good source of information, and it's on the end of their video. So.
Wonderful. Well,
that's where I would go.
Wonderful. I want you not to be a stranger. Whenever you need me, whenever you need us, whenever you need, Kambree Nelson and I to promote anything, you're more than welcome to drop us a line, and we're more than we'll be more than willing to help you out with whatever we can.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me on the show today. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you for your service, sir.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. That was an awesome interview there, Cam. I mean, I get so emotional because you know what's happening to this country, and then when you see these young men and women come back, and as he mentioned, not only some of the physical scars that you can see on the outside, but some of the internal scars that you don't see, which is it's really devastating. It could be very devastating to the family, and it's very tough.
It is very tough, and I'm excited that, as crazy as what's happening with the election season, this is finally, a voice is being raised all over the United States, and this is powerful that and this is what should have been done years and years and years ago. So I'm actually excited to hear these type of stories and to bring them to the forefront of what's really going on, because I believe America is embracing it like they probably never embraced anything before. At least from as long as I've been alive in my 37 years of life. Right. And man, we got some powerful stories, and I believe we got a lot of lives that we're going to save and a lot of people that we're going to help. And this is just fantastic what's happening. Well, that's the beauty of new media and social media. We're able to push this out, whereas mainstream media wouldn't be covering it. We have the luxury of actually having a show sort of like this, and some of the shows that Bobby's been on the last 2 days, where it's all internet-based streaming, where they can get the exposure that they deserve. I want to go on to my next guest. This is going to be a very special guest here. We're going to be speaking with Cindy Dietz. She is the mother of Navy SEAL Danny Dietz, who was he was basically fighting. He was part of a dedicated team fighting the Taliban, a fundamentalist regime that the U.S.-led coalition knocked from power in Afghanistan in 2001, but has continued to conduct guerrilla operations, particularly along the Pakistani border. Dietz worked to help ensure al-Qaeda terrorists could not train in nor launch strikes from Afghanistan since their lethal attack on the World Trade Center in New York on September 11th, 2001. Danny Dietz deployed to Afghanistan in April 2005 as part of a 4-man SEAL reconnaissance team to support naval special warfare prosecution of the global war on terror. The team secretly infiltrated into the Hindu Kush mountain along the border with Afghanistan in late June. Led by Lieutenant Michael P. Murphy, the unit was reportedly tracking a high-ranking terrorist leader near a 10,000-foot peak when it was ambushed by overwhelming Taliban forces. 2 helicopters
of Navy SEALs and Army commandos answered Murphy's electronic call for help. 8 SEALs and 8 Army commandos that led the helicopter rescue perished after it was hit by a rocket-propelled grenade and crashed. 3 of the original 4-man SEAL squad, Danny Dietz, Michael Murphy, and Matt Alexson, were killed in the firefight. A 4th squad member, unnamed because he is still operating, survived the SEAL, was knocked down a mountainside by a blast and wounded in both legs. He walked through several miles and was hidden and protected by Afghani Shepherd until rescued by U.S. commandos in 2003. Dietz remains were found during a combat search and rescue mission on July 4th, 2005. He was awarded the Navy Cross, the service's second highest award for his valor. Danny Dietz is remembered with the greatest respect and gratitude by his fellow SEALs, the Navy, and our nation. Actor Emile Hirsch portrayed Navy SEAL Danny Dietz in the movie Lone Survivor. So at this time, I want to welcome in. It's an honor to have Cindy Dietz. Welcome to the Silent Majority.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction of our heroes of Operation Red Wings.
It
means a great deal to me for them to continue to still be remembered by all and honored by many.
Now, Cindy, I get very emotional when I talk about what happened. I mean, it took me a good 7 attempts to get through that movie without getting frustrated. And every time I'd watch it, I get very frustrated. Now, you went to the opening of The Lone Survivor. How was that experience for you? Seeing your son's your son's battle there with the Taliban, seeing it right there on the big screen, was that very tough for you? Because let me tell you, it was very tough for me. I've tried to watch it and I just couldn't get through it. I just kept getting really, really angry. So how was that experience for you?
You know, I've been to many screenings, but I've actually only seen the movie finished through one time, and then I saw the uncut version that was with all the helicopter and all that stuff. We saw that before the movie actually came out, the uncut version, and there was a lot added to it much later. So that one probably was the roughest to go through, because then after we saw that, that's when we got together with Peter Berg and Emile Hirsch and the other parents got together with the actors and talked about what we wanted, what we thought should be changed and added, and so that one was probably the most difficult. Mm-hmm. And then the first time seeing the actual movie straight through was not at the actual red carpet screening with the actors. I was actually escorted out along with Maureen Murphy.
Now, are you very close?
Once the firefight started.
Yeah, I know it's very tough. Trust me, I know. Mm-hmm. I mean, I couldn't imagine. It was tough for me to watch. As I mentioned, it took me 7 tries to watch it. Are you very close to the families of Murphy and Alexson?
Axelson, absolutely. I talk with Maureen Murphy quite a bit, and Donna and Corky Axelson are very, very close with, and Jeff Axelson, the brother to Matthew Axelson. They actually are coming out with, we just unveiled Danny's tribute rifle. I don't know if you've heard about that or not, but so we're very, very close with the families. Axelson's own Axelson Tactical, and they've designed Danny's tribute rifle.
Okay.
Very, very excited about it.
Wonderful.
I'm very, very close, and to some of the families on the helicopter, even Natalie Healy, Sam Christensen, So
yeah,
pretty much a close knit. The SEAL community is very, very close knit.
Exactly. You're listening to the Silent Majority here. Today's a very special day. It's a celebration of life. What we have on the Rebooting Liberty hotline, I have Cindy Dietz, the mother of slain Navy SEAL Danny Dietz, and my co-host for the night is Kambree Nelson, who is working on Veterans TV. I want to ask Kambree now. Kambree, do you have a question for Cindy?
Yes, Miss Cindy. Well, thanks for being on tonight. And one of the things that we're doing with Veterans TV is we're going to have a Legacies Never Die, and your son is the epitome of that. And legacies never do die. And as a mom, I'm a mother. And is there anything that you want to tell mothers that are out there specifically? Your story is powerful. What you guys are doing is absolutely amazing, and I think it's incredible. Probably the support that you're giving to the other moms out there. But I know that we have some moms that are listening today that are in, the same situation that you are, that may be a little bit more fresh. And I know I keep bringing up the election, but I think the election has stirred up, especially bringing the veterans to the forefront of this election as well, has stirred up a lot of emotions within the parents and the moms. So do you have anything that you can say to any of to the mothers out there with what they could possibly be going through? Because your words are words of comfort. And so that's one of the questions I wanted to ask you. When I found out that you were going to be on today's show, I thought, wow, the impact that you were going to have with mothers out there is so powerful that it needs to be heard.
I do meet a lot of mothers and fathers and siblings and children that are very fresh in their new journey, their new walk in life. And what I tell them is, obviously I'm here for them, but you have to take your grieving process the way, it's your first year of grief, you're in a state of shock. Your second year, it starts to set in. Your third and fourth year is where you really, really hit rock bottom. And at least for me anyway. And there is no right or wrong way to grieve. You just have to take it one day at a time, one step at a time, 1 minute at a time. And you just have to take time to breathe. You have to take time, unfortunately, in our situation with Operation Red Wings, a lot of us parents were thrown into the spotlight, so to say, because of the story. And so we didn't get to sit. We didn't get to take the time to ourselves to actually just process the horrific news we just received, the knock on our door, the final knock. We didn't get to process that because we had a survivor, and thank goodness we had a survivor. Marcus has done a wonderful job of honoring and remembering our loved ones. But at the same point, every time that is brought up, every time it's out there, especially in our when it was still fresh in our hearts, it was very, very difficult. 10 years down the road, I'm able to handle it a little bit better. I have my days. Yeah. Today is actually a very good day, and I can talk about it, and I feel good about talking about my son. He was an amazing young man. From a young age, he was just an amazing child. A little bit more challenged of a teenager, I would have to say. I have 3 children. Danny was my oldest, and he was probably our most difficult teenager. But looking back at that, what I would do, and I think about this so many times, what I would do to go back to those days and just remember and cherish those special days.
Yes. Yes. It's
and I always tell every Blue Star mother, do not ever, whatever you do, don't delete